So, what is the bike I'm riding today? And the guys up front, Seb and Alan, are whipping about on. This is the brand new Santa Cruz Blur. And it's a bike that's been missing from the Santa Cruz lineup for a long time. It's a pure speed machine. 100mm travel, 29er, XC angles, 29 only, no plus like the tall boy. But as you can see from these guys ripping up in front, this is still a seriously capable machine. Absolute pinner. So even though it's a full pound lighter than the tall boy, even though it's only got slightly less travel, 10 kilo all in weight, large frame, 2 kilos, bike only comes in CC carbon and C carbon, full bikes. But because it's the Santa Cruz, I know people are going to ride it like it's meant to be rally. Oh, I'm glad I'm following a good wheel. The three trails in Skeggs are not that forgiving for a typical XC bike. But then, a few minutes in, I'm already realizing this is not a typical XC bike. There's nothing radical going on with the numbers. But that stiffness really lets you push it hard. You know, as much as you're loving feeding it through the technical section, you're just waiting for the trail to open up. So you can hit the gas and just punch out. Oh, this is an addictive way to ride trail. I just can't wait to race this. That shock tune is sweet. Pretty tight off the top to match that race tune form. But then the mid-stroke just offers so much support there. Carries so much speed. I mean, there's always a payoff for every element of bike design. On the Blur, those short chainstays combined with that really punchy VPP linkage means it can spin out more easily on really steep technical loose climbs. It's not great when you're dragging the brakes. The growth of the suspension as you pull back on the anchors gets pretty choppy. You get so much information through the soles of your feet and such an intuitive way to feel the suspension that rarely a problem. And it also gives it that real pop and agility, that ability to get really dynamic with your body weight movement. I can think of a lot of 100mm bikes where you would just be getting footage of the forest floor now, because I'd have lost it off that corner. That was some high load off camber. I mean, you get a real sense of how stiff this bike is when you accidentally leave that lockout on. And hell, this back end is so rigid that makes the bike feel so alive. Always on the hunt. Always got that predatory feel through the pedals. Oh man, for 100mm travel, this thing absolutely hauls. So much bike for so little weight. Really supportive mid-stroke. It's got a aggressive compression tune on there, so it really holds in tight, but it's only an Aspen tyre. Super short upper linkage for that really deep pizza oven for the lower linkage. Just keeps things so tight. Double strut design at the back end. Normally it's a single strut on the back end of the VPP bikes. These have a double strut. Helps cope with the extra torque load. When you slam the power down, it just hauls. Oh, look at the roost on Alan. Sweet. Oh, good times. Good times, good times. So, massive thanks to the Santa Cruz team for flying me out here, trusting me to let rip on their brand new bike. With my camera and my mouth, I'll bring you a totally unbiased live trail review on the first day this bike's been out in the wild. This Blur is a sick machine. Hell yeah! Oh, that's so tight through there for this category bike. Yeah! Alan bumped it! Oh yeah! Absolutely flat out, but still with that tightness. Might be called the Blur, but this is ultra sharp focus speed. It really is. Total ripper. So you got a 69-degree head angle with this 100mm fork in there. And that's pretty steep. It's a 460mm reach on this large. That adds stability. Preserve carbon wheels there, carving it in on the step cast fork. Full Fox factory front and rear. You know, this is a serious piece of hardware. But boy, it rides well. So well. 328mm back end means you can really flick it round. Yes, back it in. Even if you only got space for a couple of pedal strokes, Those pedal strokes just work so well. So much power. Oh, backflip. I mean, this is a total first ride, but it has not disappointed. Watch your front tyre. Oh, that was awesome. Man, this bike rules.
That's unreal.
There we go. Santa Cruz's new Blur. What awesome way to shred a trail. What a pinner. Yep. Yep, yep. So, after a flat out first day on the new Santa Cruz Blur, what do we know? Well, it might be super light at 2 kilos, but it's very much still a Santa Cruz. It's still a very practical, tough bike. You've got that lifetime warranty on the frame, you've got external bottom bracket for better bearing longevity, you've got external brake routing, easy switching. Cables are internally routed, but they've got guide pipes in there, so the plumbing is really easy. And you've got internal dropper post routing as well. There's enough clearance in the back end for 2.35 by 29 tyres, so you can fit proper chunky rubber in there if you need to. But the most significant is the introduction of this twin strut at the back. But it makes it so much stiffer. Santa Cruz really noticed a massive difference in testing when they added that. And you could feel it so clearly when you stamp the power down through those new extra stiff SRAM dub cranks there. That massive box section in the bottom with that big pizza oven hollow out, again, keeps things really, really stiff around the bottom bracket area, massive chainstays, and a really short top link. Santa Cruz have moved to a lower linkage driven shock on the new Nomad. They've kept the traditional VPP layout with the top linkage driven shock for a very direct, very efficient pedalling feel. It can spit traction a bit when you really stamp the power down, because the way the suspension stiffens up, and it's not the smoothest under braking, but the feel you get through your feet and the kind of intuitive way you can deliver that power and the stand-up stiffness really is absolutely outstanding. They've gone for a race tune on the rear shock too, so a very tight, efficient feel even when it's open, but that gives way with that digressive compression damping into a really smooth but well supported midsection. Can blow through if you run near a 30% sag, so go towards 25% if you're feeling aggressive and you know you're going to be hitting stuff hard. Obviously you've got more leeway in how you set up the shock because of this really neat little remote lever up on the bar. It's slave to both front and rear suspension. Just flick it with the thumb to flick it on, click it again, rigid as you like for kicking through that power, making the most of that super stiff back end. Up front they've stuck with a 69-degree head angle. Some bikes are going slacker now, even in the XC category we're getting some 67s getting thrown around. From riding some of the bikes with a slacker head angle, they really don't live up to the promise of more control because they're just not stiff enough up front to actually make the most of it, and that's certainly not true on this Blur. Absolutely rigid right through from axle to axle. Well, axle to head tube. That fork's got a bit of a flex, but then it is so much lighter than any of the competition. I can totally see why Santa Cruz have gone with that for this build. Having a steeper head angle also means you're not overloading things like that super fast low tread Aspen front tyre or the cutaway step cast forks. With that 44mm offset fork increasing trail, it feels more stable than a 69-degree head angle typically would, and the 760mm bar adds a load of leverage up front as well. Obviously a day isn't a whole ton of time to fully assess a brand new bike, but this has been one hell of a day of riding and it's really, really suited the Blur. Long climbs, punchy attacking climbs, superb technical single track, twisty, rocky, and then some really, really fast flat out sections as well. And it has absolutely pinned it through everything. It's just a bike you want to ride to the absolute max all the time. A fast handling, super light, super stiff race bike, but with that characteristic Santa Cruz practicality, toughness and control. Oh, it's been an absolute joy, this bike today, and I can't wait to get more time in it. Again, thanks to Santa Cruz for flying me out here. It's been an awesome introduction to the bike, and make sure you check out the new Highball hardtail as well. Another super light cross-country weapon that's just been added to the Santa Cruz stable. But anyway, I won't give too much away here. I'll let you watch that. So, like, subscribe, get yourself over to Santa Cruz Bicycles for more information.